Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
2, 1.
And welcome back. As the host always says, good Saturday morning over here.
That's it.
I'm Dave Gabbard, sitting in, kind of worming my way in the studio this Saturday, January the 18th.
Waiting on breakfast.
Yeah. Larry said he'd buy me breakfast. That's why
right.
I drove to Memphis.
Yeah, we got
McDonald's. And Frank Barton sitting over there in the co-commander's chair.
The co-commander. All right.
But, you know, Larry, you was talking about you had deer depression.
Yeah, I do have deer.
Deer season's over with.
It's over with, yeah.
You know, duck season's winding down.
It's winding down.
You know.
It's way down.
We've got so much water you can't solver fish over on the river.
You listen to this, Frank. This is quite an introduction.
So what can you do to be in the outdoors?
I know where you.
Well, our next guest, he'll explain what you can do.
It sure is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You can go look at the birds.
All right.
Now we got David Haggard with us. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Yeah, David's the regional naturalist up there at the Reelfoot Lake State Park, up there outside of Tiptonville, Tennessee.
Tiptonville, Tennessee.
You know, it's wedged between those two big metropolises of Sandburg and Tiptonville.
It is? Okay, yeah. And David lives in Union City. No, I don't know. David Haggard, buddy. That's with that introduction from Dave Gabbard. We could just close it out now. I know you've been with the state park since '83. You told me that.
Right.
That's 1883. That's what most people think from
Pretty
me.
much feels like it sometimes.
But you're the Eagle Man. You've earned that title with those. Tell them I don't know how many talks you've done, how many boat rides, how many Eagle tours you've done. But we're at prime time here, and there's a big event getting ready to roll out. The end of the month here is the annual Eagle Days, and I know David. So talk about the Eagles this year, because I'm understanding. Are we getting good numbers this year compared to last year and things?
Well, no, it's kind of like we talk about the duck hunting. You got water everywhere, and you have no cold weather.
Yes.
So just like it spreads the ducks and geese out over a huge area. So, yeah, we've got maybe 75, 100 eagles at Reelfoot.
Okay.
And, we're seeing 15, 20, 30 eagles on a normal trip. But, right, it's not one of those years like it was 3 years ago when the lake froze.
Yeah.
We had the polar vortex.
Yes.
We had 300,000 ducks and geese, and we had 350, 400 eagles.
Wow, yeah.
This year we've got 100 eagles and maybe 100,000 ducks and geese just because they're spread everywhere with the water and no cold weather.
And that doesn't stop you from having the festival, because it's really one
of the. No, it doesn't.
It's one of the biggest events. I know, the Eagle Tours and things along that line. So when you guys roll it out on January the 31st, you're going to have your tours and things along that line. What is it about Reelfoot and eagles? Well,
Reelfoot provides the food. I mean, the eagles, as they migrate, they're looking for a place to find good quality food for the winter. And between the numbers of fish produced at Reelfoot and the ducks and geese numbers, because in the wintertime they do feed heavily on waterfowl, especially crippled or injured waterfowl. Reelfoot just has a huge number of eagles. And the most significant thing about Reelfoot is the eagles are easy to see.
They are,
get
aren't
used
they?
to people. They sit right over the highway, right over the houses, sit in the fields right beside the road. You don't have to go, you can go to Kentucky Lake and see eagles, but you usually have to go out in a boat.
Yeah.
Where at Reelfoot, you can see them without having to work too hard at it. And that's what's always made Reelfoot special on eagle watching since the 70s, is how tolerant the birds get, the good quality, close views, and you don't have to be prepared to freeze to death to actually go out and locate.
They're used to those buses. I mean, if you threw in a psychedelic bus, they may go crazy. But your buses, the tours itself, it doesn't seem to bother them. And folks, I'm telling you, for $14 during this thing, you can take one of these tours. and it's a 2-hour tour. It's in a bus. Somebody's going to be telling you about this. And there might be a chance for some really good photographs, right, David?
It is. I mean, Reelfoot is a photographer's paradise. That's actually one of my biggest hobbies.
That's it, yeah.
Do a little bit of everything, but I enjoy for chasing them with a camera as I've got older. And Reelfoot's just a great place to see and observe eagles, ducks, geese, all kinds of other stuff. But if you like photography, it is a good opportunity. And we got eagles there. We had a tour today. We do tours 7 days a week, not just the festival weekend. Festival weekend is just a lot of special stuff.
But during
through February, we're going 7 days a week, taking people out to see the eagles, the ducks and geese and deer, and
what times?
Whatever else we run across.
What times are those tours?
Well, they go at 10 o'clock every day.
All right,
so
10 o'clock every day.
Morning trip.
And so,
and then afternoon trips on weekends, Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
And then the festival weekend, I'll do a photography trip at sunrise, and another photography trip at sunset, and other trips all in between. So
you've got all the
festival weekend is daylight to dark.
It's big. It's a festival weekend, and that's the 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd is the Reelfoot Lake Eagle Festival. I don't know how many vendors, how many people attend this thing, but you just about have to park in Ridgely. Or someplace.
I mean, parking is one of the issues, without a doubt.
Well, yeah, unless the lake's frozen over, and then you can get out there if you want to try it or anything. Again, we're talking to David Haggard. He is the regional naturalist for Tennessee State Parks. I got to ask you this, and I probably asked you before. David does his birds of prey, a lot of his seminars in this thing. Did you ever think that you would be known as the Eagle Man, that eagles would become so much a part of your life?
I would have never believed that would have become probably the most definitive thing of my career with state parks is the eagles. Because I grew up in the mountains.
I knew you did, yeah.
And ended up at Reelfoot kind of by accident as a first job with state parks, and fell in love with it, and just really developed the bird rehab and the bird education program, and with the hawks and the owls, and then fairly quickly and some injured eagles. And there's just that's just become one of the things that I enjoy sharing with people, is how those just magnificent creatures fit into our environment, and the big picture of just how everything works in nature.
You got any injured eagles there that you guys are working on now?
Oh yeah, we have 3 non-releasables.
Okay.
So those have wing damage that cannot fly at all, and then that's eagles.
Okay.
And we have several hawks and owls. We have several owls and hawks that are in rehab that will be released, just as the injuries heal. We just released an eagle about 2 months ago that we'd had that come in, hit by a car, and we got it better and
hit by a car,
turned it loose. And that's one of the neatest experiences ever, is to nurse something like an eagle back to health.
Yes.
And do all the treatment and get it flying and be.
Well, I know that some of our listeners out there, Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey to be our national bird, and I know there's a lot of turkey hunters out there this morning that probably would have gone along with that, but the bald eagle being our the symbol of our national symbol. But is David still there? I think we lost David.
Yeah.
David was there. He took an eagle.
Just like a wisp of smoke.
You still there? I think we've lost David.
But
that's a signal that we've lost
what
David.
You was talking about with David, eagles, they're so used to seeing people. I remember back in the 80s when we was still doing a lot of turkey trapping.
Yeah.
And Land Between the Lakes. We used to trap several birds off Land Between the Lakes. Back in one of the areas, we found an eagle nest out there, and it was
something to see. Yeah.
And their biologist shut us down, said, y'all can't get within 5 miles of that nest.
I remember.
And I'm going, people, give me a break. You know, they're sitting there watching us every morning go in.
You seen eagles? You seen any eagles?
We have an eagle in Lansing Bottoms.
You do have an eagle in Lansing Bottoms?
We do.
It comes every year, or is it there?
No, pretty much every year.
Every year. Shows up. Got any?
I don't know if it's the same one.
Okay. Yeah, let me ask you, David, we lost you there for just a second before we let you go and everything. Most of the eagles that come to Reelfoot, this a migration trail. I mean, so the wintertime is the best time to see them, though, right?
Right. You know, when I started my career at Reelfoot in the mid '80s, we had no birds that nested, not only at Reelfoot but in Tennessee.
None. That's what Dave Gabbard would just tell us. Yeah, they told
he all migratory birds.
Yeah, Dave was telling us back in those days when they found an eagle's nest, they wouldn't let you get within 5 miles of it, and now the nests are out there and you drive right by them.
There's one in my backyard.
There's one in your backyard in David Haggard's?
Yeah, and we see them. We look at nests every day on the trip. They're right beside the highway, and so we now have nesting birds to complement the migratory birds.
And that's
when we get a mild winter like this, we have the birds that live there, plus the birds that just come in for the winter. So it's actually really been a great thing to see them come back as a bird that lives at Reelfoot and never leaves.
Well, it's an economic boost for Reelfoot. I mean,
it's a huge economic boost.
I don't think people realize. I know we got, and Mike Hayes will tell us, we got duck hunting, we got all sorts of fishing and things along that line. But the eagles have become symbolic of Reelfoot.
They have, and they once again one of the things that we try to do in state parks and Reelfoot, I think, is a good example of it. Is we complement the other things like you said, Reelfoot's lifeblood is hunting and fishing. There's no question.
That's right. Yeah.
But the eagle watching, the photography, the canoeing, the kayaking, the other things that draw other people are just a huge supplement to the tourism, the local economy, the businesses, and I think I work closely with Mike Hayes up there and all the other resorts and businesses too, and they realize. I mean, you go to Boyette's on a weekend in February, it's full of eagle watchers.
Yeah,
So I think most people there realize what the other things bring in besides just the hunting and fishing.
Well, we appreciate you, David, taking this time again, folks. That the annual Eagle Watch is coming up the 31st of January, February 1st and 2nd. You can go to the state parks, go to Reelfoot. I guess I'm looking here for contact information.
Right, just go to the webpage, Reelfoot Lake State Park, and you can read all the information. There's a link to register for the tours. Make reservations. We will book every seat on every tour on the Eagle Festival weekend.
And how many does those will that hold, you think?
Well, we can take about 70 people per tour. That's 3 buses.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah,
that's
we will literally end up booking every trip.
All right, David. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you again, all right?
Okay, enjoyed business.
Thank you. All right, that's David Haggard. Let's take a break, come right back, close it out. Frank Barton, you got an amazing guest coming up next. He should be, it's a remarkable story. Yep. Some of you have asked for what's the update on Michael Perry, who was fell out of his deer stand back in November and was impaled in his stomach by a tree stump. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to talk to Michael next on Outdoors with Larry Ray.